Let me tell you, if you ever thought high school was just about football games and locker gossip, you haven't set foot in Lincoln High where the rules were written in Sharpie on the bathroom stalls, and the power belonged to the loudest, boldest kids, the ones who could turn a hallway into their own stage. You know what I mean? At Lincoln, if you didn't rise up, you just learned to survive unless you were Malia Graves. And trust me, you wouldn't have noticed her at first, because she had the whole invisible transfer kid thing down to an art. Always headphones in, hoodie up, blending in so perfectly, you'd forget she was there except for the few who made it their mission not to. Now, 3 months in, Malia had basically become background noise except to the wrong kind of people. Her mom was an army medic, deployed for years, and after Afghanistan, they moved here, trying to start over in a little apartment that smelled like cleaning spray and hope. Malia didn't talk much, didn't look for trouble. But if you've ever seen a pack of wolves circle a quiet deer, you'll know how Lincoln's resident bully, Knox Vickers, spotted her. Knox was the wrestling captain, all muscle and attitude, with a dad who'd been a cop and wore the badge in his voice, if not his uniform anymore. The first day, Knox slammed her locker, tossed her lunch, the usual. But you could tell it was only the beginning. Then came that Friday pouring rain, the kind that makes everyone grumpy and late. Knox had his boys with him, Trent, Cash, and Bo, all swagger and bad cologne, as if that gave them permission. They followed Malia into the girls' bathroom, locked the door, the fluorescent light buzzing over cracked tiles. Trent whipped out his phone, recording, because humiliation was only fun if everyone could watch it later. Knox shoved Malia against the wall, spat out slurs, the kind that make your ears burn even if you're just standing outside the door. "Say something, freak," he sneered. "You don't belong here." But Malia, man, she just stared at him. For a second, you'd think she was frozen with fear, but you'd be wrong. You ever see someone switch, like a different person just takes over? In a blink, Malia had Knox's arm twisted so bad he yelped. Her knee went right into his thigh, and he hit the floor so hard it rattled the sinks. Cash jumped in big mistake. She turned and drove a punch straight to his ribs. He was on the ground coughing, eyes watering. Bo panicked, tried to bolt, slipped on the wet floor, and cracked his chin on the sink. Yeah, that happened. And through all of it, Trent just stood there, recording, his hand shaking so bad you could hear the phone clatter against the wall. Malia leaned in, whispering, "I'm not scared of you," so quiet only Knox could hear. By the time security arrived, it was chaos, kids yelling, water running, someone crying, someone laughing. The video caught everything: the slurs, the shoves, Malia defending herself with terrifying precision. No one could spin that footage, not even Knox's dad. Sheriff Ray Vickers barreled into the principal's office, fuming, waving threats like they were traffic tickets. He wanted Malia expelled. Arrested didn't matter, she was half his son's size. But Malia's mom showed up in full military uniform, medals gleaming, her presence like a wall. She barely spoke, just handed over the phone. That was all it took. The principal watched the video twice, face pale, and just like that, Knox was out, expelled, gone. Cash and Trent got suspended, Bo got stitches in silence. The story spread before the final bell rang. Monday was different. The whispers followed Malia everywhere, but not the kind she was used to. No more mocking, just this uneasy respect, maybe fear. "That's the girl from the video," they'd mutter. "She's like a ninja or something." For once, people looked her in the eye, like she was real, not invisible. But of course, nothing is that simple. The whole town split in half. Some called Malia a hero. Others said she was a threat, dangerous, should be locked up. The sheriff wasn't done. He cornered Malia and Principal Dunning in the hallway, his voice echoing. "This girl's a menace," he growled. "She doesn't belong here." But Malia's mom was right there, not budging, and she said, "My daughter knows how to protect herself. Maybe your son should have learned respect." That was its him right down. Soon enough, the story was everywhere: local news, social media. Everyone had an opinion. The school called a special assembly, the gym packed, everyone buzzing. Malia stood there, not wanting the spotlight, but knowing she couldn't back down. She grabbed the mic, voice shaking at first. "I didn't come here to fight," she said. "I came to learn, like all of you." The whole gym went still. People saw my skin, saw I was quiet, decided I was weak. But my mom taught me to protect, not attack. That day, I had no choice. For a second, you could hear nothing but breathing, then applause like thunder. From that day, Malia wasn't invisible anymore. She started a self-defense club for girls, called it Stand, anyway invited anyone who'd ever felt small or overlooked. Turns out there were a lot of them. They showed up, learned to stand tall, to speak out, to fight back when it mattered. Malia turned the worst day of her life into something that made others stronger. Graduation day, Malia walked the stage, cap crooked, her mom in the front row, crying but trying to look tough. Principal Dunning handed her the diploma, whispered, "You taught us more than we ever taught you." Cameras flashing, people cheering. And then a reporter shoved a mic in her face. "What do you want to say to your classmates?" Malia just grinned, looked straight into the lens. Next time you pick on a quiet girl, maybe make sure she isn't trained to end you in 10 seconds flat. The whole place lost it, laughter, whistles, even some tears. She walked off that stage, not just a survivor, but a legend. But hey, here's the thing, what would you have done? Would you have fought back, stayed silent, or sided with the crowd? Justice is messy, strength isn't always loud, and sometimes the right thing shakes up the whole community. That's what happened at Lincoln High. Maybe next time you see someone standing alone, you'll remember Malia, or maybe you'll be the one to stand up. If this story hit you somewhere deep, if it made you rethink what it means to be strong or silent, don't just scroll on. I want to know who was right, who was wrong, and what does real justice look like to you? Drop your thoughts below. Let's get real about the line between self-defense and going too far, about community and courage. Let's talk.